Is it even worth going for a live account? I know, crazy. We're posting this on this channel. Just want to have a direct, succinct conversation with you for somebody who's been trading his own account for a long time, okay? I started as a trader trading my own account, okay? And it took me years and years and years. I've been trading for about 9 or 10 years now. I keep saying 8, but I was saying 8 2 years ago. It's probably like 9 or 10 years. I had a very unique foray into the markets, okay? I started working, so my background is as a software engineer, working in a rotational program at a brokerage, okay? So I worked at a brokerage. That was kind of my first access to the markets, okay? Now, it wasn't like a trading firm. It was an investment firm for everyday folk, okay? Focused on long-term investments, retirement accounts, which is why that's a big passion of mine. But I got my Series 7, 66, learned about equities, laws, and all that, which doesn't help you as a trader, but it does teach you about the markets, the kind of history of the markets and things like that. I was taught options professionally. They started dabbling with options. Me and a buddy of mine started a business trying to trade options. That failed miserably, okay? So there's a lot of things that I had access to in how I started that's gonna be different than like 99.99% of people. Like straight up, just wanna call that out, okay? Also, okay, I wanna mention this, prop firms weren't a thing back then, not how they are now. Okay, so it's nice for people, and I've seen this on a few YouTube channels, come out and say, oh, you got to drop prop firms or not do this or not do that. A pretty strong principle of mine is don't speak in absolutes. It's a mistake that I see a lot of people make that tend to be younger, or these are people who've only found success from doing one thing. Okay, they lack experience or just a breadth of experience, right? Maybe they have a ton of experience doing one thing. And because they have a ton of experience just doing one thing in one way, and their identity is tied up in that, they have a hard time reckoning with people doing things other ways, right? And they actually have like this automatic defense mechanism when other people achieve in other ways, okay, which is silly. So the cool thing about trading your own account, you thought I was gonna say prop firms. The cool thing about trading your own account is that that's the end goal anyway. So a lot of you that are coming here, okay, you wanna use MyFundedFutures as a way to get into the markets, essentially with leverage, okay? We have a ton of options for you, right? My favorite account type are the expert accounts. We have the starter plus, like the accounts with the guardrails. I think those are super dope. Those are great options for people. Okay, there's so many more options now for you to start trading with guardrails or with less guardrails, okay? Again, the expert account is the most similar to just trading your own account. I like that. Some people have trouble with prop firms, thinking about the different rules that exist and things like that. Eventually, once you pass at MyFundedFutures, which is really cool, and they were one of the first firms to do this, and they've been super consistent about this, which is why I've been partnered with them for so long, is they give you access to a live funded account. Just straight up, no BS, we're gonna look at it and we're gonna evaluate it, and then we're gonna run you through a machine and decide if you fit, the blah, 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 blah. It's like, nope, you pass, you get put into a live account, okay? Now, it's a live account at the firm, but it's just a regular old live account. You can do whatever you want, okay? Trade just like you would a normal account. And I think that that's super cool. I think that that's awesome for people who don't have another option. The cool thing about trading my own account is that I've learned the markets just by gaining and losing my own money. Okay, for those of you who haven't heard my story in the markets before, okay, again, going back to where I started at that brokerage, working as a software engineer, worked at a few other companies, right? I went from that company, worked in aerospace for a little bit, went to a software consulting, went to software sales, okay, was trading along the entire way, just trading, made a ton of money with SPACs, made a ton of money with GameStop. I'm trading, equity options, lost money, gained and lost money along the way in my own account, okay? Not blowing up prop accounts, my own real money, okay? Made and lost hundreds of thousands of dollars. My biggest loss was unrealized, over $500,000 on a SPAC, okay? You're all gonna go there eventually, okay? So prop firms, leverage. Trading is all about leverage. It literally is. And prop firms are just leverage. There are a ton of companies, okay? We're not gonna talk about them, okay? This isn't the channel for that. But there are a ton of different companies with maybe less than ideal parameters or shady business behavior. And it's up to you as a trader. Trading is really, really hard. Everything's up to you. You have to be super accountable. But it's up to you as the trader to invest in, companies or use companies that have a good track record. Okay, the thing that I've always liked about MyFundedFutures is their approach to customer service, the way that they talk to their customers, the way that they show up in the world. I think it's cool to be combative and, on Twitter and all that and have fun. And I do it sometimes too. Everybody does it. But at the end of the day, we're dealing with people, okay? They've always put their customers first. They've always, as far as I'm aware, from what I can tell, and I'm, I'm here, guys. I know a lot from what I can see, and you can also just do basic math. You know, they've always ran the company in a healthy way. Okay, so I think that's super cool. That's why I'm partnered with MyFundedFutures. That's why I'll always recommend them. They'll always be the #1 prop firm in my eyes, top of the list. Okay, there are tons of other options out there. You can trade. MyFundedFutures doesn't have a rule saying you can't trade other prop firms. So you can trade MyFundedFutures, get your 3 expert accounts, trade some other accounts. You can do that. Ultimately, once you pass the accounts, you get some payouts. You'll get a live account with MyFundedFutures, and then maybe you start trading your own live account. They've talked about this. I think it's super cool that MyFundedFutures, a prop firm, they're in the business of you trading prop accounts, has talked about you actually eventually moving on from them and trading your own account. Tons of transparency. That's awesome. So is it worth, trading prop firms in 2025? Should you just save money, do your own thing? Do whatever makes the most sense for you. Okay, stop looking to trade influencers and individuals telling you exactly what works. I can tell you from where I sit, I've seen people who have done it one way, who say to do it a different way. I've seen people who've only done it one way, say you got to do it their way. Okay, I see very few people showing up with very rational approaches, and that's because those very rational, nuanced video isn't going to get a gazillion likes. Okay, a very rational, nuanced take isn't going to get hot reactions. Okay, it's just going to get mild, like, oh yeah, that makes sense, and it should. Okay, so what I want you to do right now, as you're watching this video, is I actually want you to get up a pen and paper and make a plan for yourself. Why are you trading? How much money do you want to make? How much money have you spent on eval fees? How much money do you want to make on your first payout, second payout? How many payouts do you want to get to fund your own account? Once you get a MyFundedFutures live account, what are going to be your profit targets? What's going to be your plan for consistency and risk management to protect yourself? These are all things that you should know, be preparing for, so that you can be successful here in 2025. Okay, we're going to continue to level up the game, bring you guys exciting new content, options for prop accounts, think pieces like this, right? I'm always going to do my best to just be open and honest with you guys with what I think. Again, I trade my own account first and foremost, and I see the value of prop firms. I know too many people who have found success with prop firms for me to even take the takes seriously, where people are like, oh, you shouldn't trade prop firms. Like, this doesn't make sense. No, you should never speak in absolutes. Okay, I think the problem that a lot of people have with prop firms is, they would have been failed traders either anyways, is that they have that gambling mindset, right? They think of the market as a slot machine. And if you think of the market like a slot machine, it doesn't matter if you have high leverage or low leverage, trading your own account of props, you're going to continue to fail over and over and over again. You will. I promise you, you will. And in that case, prop accounts could be dangerous. On the flip side, if you journal every single day, okay, what's cool about MyFundedFutures is they have built-in journaling, built-in performance tracking. You can see how you're doing day by day. Okay, there are a ton of different options, so you could think about what account you can get, what makes sense for you with your relationship with money and how you feel about money. Do you need a ton of leverage? Do you need a little? Do you want to make $1,000 a week? Do you want to make $100 a week? Okay, there are options for you, and you could choose the option that fits into your lifestyle and trade accordingly. Get rid of the noise for other people who are posting huge numbers or little numbers, whatever it is, me or anybody else. You have to take ownership of your own life, okay? And wherever you're starting on the journey, whether you're starting your own account, maybe you're starting with one account, one prop account, maybe you're starting with 3 prop accounts, maybe you've got 3 with us and 56 across the board from all the million different options out there. Do your thing, but do it smart, plan and execute your plan. There are 2 communities that you 100% need to be a part of. First and foremost, MyFundedFutures Discord. Check us out, okay? If you want to be around some like-minded other prop traders, I have my own Discord as well. Okay, there's a link down below, or you can just go to wap.com/tradeedge. We day trade live in there pretty frequently if you want to learn how to trade and just hang out with some other traders. And yeah, keep your head up, subscribe here, subscribe over there, invite some friends to subscribe, and see you in the next video. Peace.